I was the first person in Miami to practice BodyTalk, and my story is interesting because I had a medical license. So I was a very well-respected acupuncturist in Miami. I'd been in practice for many years and had really a full-service oriental medical practice. And it worked well for a long time until I discovered BodyTalk. And a lot of you have heard the story about me taking courses from John and then coming back in my office and having one of those miracle cures the second day back at my office. And when that happened to me, I gathered my staff together and said, okay, look, from now on we're going to be doing BodyTalk in the office. And of course the staff is saying, but how are we going to do that? And how are you actually going to sit down and learn to practice this modality and be able to, know what you're doing to have the same kinds of results that you're having with acupuncture with the way that your office is set up? How are you going to do this? And that was a real question. And I said, well, I don't know, but I have a commitment to doing it because clearly this is a superior system. So, after I took Module 1 and 2, I thought that I had really found the answer to everything. I've got the answer. So I called up all of my acupuncture colleagues and all of my massage therapist friends and all of these folks, and I said, I've got the answer. This is it. This is the healing system. It will fix things that we can't fix with what we do. So, let's get together. Let's have you take the course, and let's make a big BodyTalk clinic in Miami. And the response was, no way. We're not interested. Because it's very hard for people, number one, to stop doing what they know how to do. It's very, very difficult. And so when they start working with a new modality that they're not comfortable with, that they're not confident with, that they don't even know how to talk to people about what it is that they're doing, then it creates a lot of difficulty for them. So my experience was very rough for the first couple of years, and I want everybody to hear that and to understand that. I was the first person in Miami to practice BodyTalk, and when I was trying to explain to my clients why I was no longer going to do acupuncture on them, homeopathy on them, herbs on them, etc., they thought I had gone crazy. It really has been a learning curve for me, and I hope that I can share some of the things that I've learned today with you and answer questions about questions that you may have about this process in order to make it easier for you to make a transition, whether or not you are currently working in the medical field or not. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you have a desire to establish a BodyTalk practice. I think that's why everybody is here today. And I've heard some people say, well, I want a part-time practice, well, I want a full-time practice. But the truth of the matter is that there is no end to the capacity and the demand for BodyTalk. There really is no end. And I could probably work 7 days a week for the next 100 years and not satisfy all the demands on my time for BodyTalk because the system works that well. So if you're not as busy as you want to be, it's because of you. It's not because of the system. You are the limitation to your practice. There is no other limitation. So it's very important to understand this. We're going to talk about some practical things, and we're going to talk about some philosophic things. And talking about the philosophical things, including how to explain BodyTalk to your clients and to members of the general public, is very important because there is a kind of time period in which you feel that you have something to offer, but you don't know how to speak about it. And that's a limitation because that shyness and that reluctance to share what you know about the system with others actually limits you drastically in your practice. In order to have a good BodyTalk practice, you have to be able to talk about what you do. If you can't talk about what you do, if people don't understand what it is that you're doing, they're not going to come and see you. BodyTalk is a very esoteric form of healthcare. And because it's a very esoteric form of healthcare, you have to have extremely concrete explanations for what it is that you're doing. Because it's a very esoteric form of healthcare, you have to be able to offer a total package to people that is grounded and rooted in practicality. Sometimes we can't even explain what's happening in there to ourselves, let alone to anyone else. So because of that, it is extremely important to rely on the concrete terms that you can use, and on any kind of practical formations, practical explanations, practical applications that will make your clients feel comfortable.